Hi, my name is Kane Hickey, postdoctoral research associate here at the Cornell Lake Erie Research and Extension Laboratory in Portland, New York. And my role here is to serve as postdoc for the SCRI Efficient Vineyard Project. I'm here with Dr. Terry Bates today, director of the CLERL, and also leader on the SCRI Efficient Vineyard Project. And today we're going to get a bit of information from Terry about this project. So Terry, we have 1 year under our belt. Can you give an overview of the year one findings and in particular anything, well, not in particular, but anything you might have found that you weren't expecting to find? And then I'll ask a follow-up question after that.
Okay. So it's a tough question to answer just because the project is so large, right? So that we have viticulture and sensor and engineering work going on in the east. We have more viticulture work going on in the west in California. And if you watch some of the overview videos about this project, it's a very large project. There's different components. There's one whole component on the development and use and validation of sensors in vineyards. There's a whole component on what growers are going to do with this big spatial data. How does that get processed? How do they interact with it? How are they going to use it in their vineyards? Then after you process the data, you have a management map, a spatial management map. You know, what's the viticulture that goes behind that? How will we apply variable rate management in the field? And then how to evaluate that economically, and then extending all that information. So it's like the 5 different parts of the project. So after year one, of course, when you have a large project like this, you tend to get ahead in some areas and maybe not progress as fast as you want in other areas. So by and large, I think I summarize the first year by saying we spent a lot of time developing the tools that we're going to need to run the project. So we're doing soil, canopy, and crop sensing in all the different vineyards. So we have to develop those sensors and validate those sensors with viticulture measurements in the field. And a lot of effort in that first year has gone towards developing that tool. And I see as we progress in this next coming year and down the road, there's still validation and improvement of the tool, but we need to start using that tool in the vineyard towards better management, more efficient management. That's why it's called Efficient Vineyard Project. So I guess that's that in a nutshell. We've made a great progress in developing the tools, and now we need to start using those tools in our vineyards.
Great. Okay. And then, so thanks for that. And then, so now that you've kind of recapped your thoughts on year one, where do you see us heading with the next 3 years? Because this is a 4-year project, right?
Yep.
So we have 3 years left in the project. Where do you see, and you might be able to just speak of the Concord region or the California region or together or just be very general, but where do you see us going in these next 3 years of the project?
Okay. So again, back to the validation of sensors. Some of the sensors that we use are off the shelf. Like the soil sensor that we use is something you can purchase. Same thing with the canopy sensors. So those are farther along in the project in terms of us validating what those mean in the vineyard. And then our cooperator, Steve Nuske, down at Carnegie Mellon University, has developed an image analysis system. So as his system goes through the vineyards and it takes pictures of the vines, and then his engineering software basically analyzes those images and be able to pick out different things like berry number or shoot number, or we're trying to develop a leaf area index from those images. That needs a lot more work in terms of, so as I see us, especially this year and probably the next year, will be continued work with the engineering team in developing the algorithms to turn those images into information. And then as far as the vineyard management, variable rate management issues go, this past year, we've demonstrated variable rate shoot thinning and variable rate fruit thinning with a machine in Concord vineyards. So we've kind of shown that proof of concept, and as we move forward down the road, we'll be setting up viticulture trials in vineyards to demonstrate and evaluate and look at the economic impact of that variable rate management in vineyards.
Very good. Okay. So thank you, Dr. Bates, for discussing the Efficient Vineyard project today, and I think that'll do it for this session.
Great.
Thanks.